Nancy, is that better? Let me know if you can hear me. I hate it when that happens. It should be better. I think I know what I did wrong. Um, I'm just waiting to make sure that you can hear me, and then I will carry on. Sorry about that. Awesome. Okay, great. I know exactly what I did. But anyways, great. Mary Lou's here, Val's here, Nancy's here, and they can all hear me. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So what I was saying was really just kind of um, not all that important stuff while we're getting going here. But I was just saying that I can't believe Christmas is almost here. My mantle still has Thanksgiving stuff on it, and I need a little kick in the butt to get things done. But last week I said that I was going to show you Christmas cards that I received in the mail. So the one I'm going to show you now are actually team swaps. So my team, my stamping team, we did a Christmas or a holiday, winter holiday card swap. So I'm going to show you. Let me put this here. Hold on. Sorry about the light. Let me get that in place. Let me do that. Perfect. Okay. So these are the cards I'm going to show you today. So these were all made by my team members. So actually, Val's even watching. Great. Debbie's here too. Perfect. Okay. So I don't remember what you call this fold, and I know I have the directions, and I will definitely be copying. But watch this. So this kind of pops out a little bit, right? So you open it up, and then you take this out like that. Isn't that awesome? I'll show you this way. So that's kind of what it looks like. I just love this, and I love it's just absolutely perfect with the stained glass. So Val made that one, and Susan made this one, and Susan does these really cool. She always does something different on the inside with bright colors, and I love that. So she always kind of decorates the inside as much as she does the outside. So that's good. And then Sue made, was there two? Hold on. Sue made this one, and look, this is paper from last year with the iridescent, but we do still have like iridescent paper just without the snowflakes, but you could take the iridescent paper we have and emboss with snowflakes to kind of get that similar effect. And I think, yeah, she just stamped on the inside. Isn't that fun? I just say every year because it's true. I love blue Christmas cards. And Carol made this one. So I'm going to show you the same thing, kind of both sides. Oh, Marianne just reading. Oh, sorry, Mary Lou. Yeah, go back to bed and watch this another time. Go back to bed and get healthy. Sorry that you're feeling icky. So it opens like that. And so see, there's this little box in there. So I will be copying that as well. It's kind of a fun one. And then this one's from Kim. And I just love that. And she's a fun little iridescent snowflakes on there. The fun and same, this is kind of like a little Z fold card, but it's fun with the snowman paper, not snowman, polar bear paper. And look at this one. Michelle made this one. Can you see the sparkle? I'm not sure how she did this. I'm guessing either she used paper that has a shine on it, which is possible, or she used Versamark to put it on top of the entire paper and then embossed it. I'm not sure which she did, or she could have used a window sheet and then put it on top of paper. I'm going to need to ask her because it has a really cool like tin ceiling effect to it. And then that just opens up with a little matching paper inside. And then this is the one that I did. And I've actually shown you this style before with the blends markers and then the alcohol drops on there. And I turned this one into a Happy New Year card. So those were the team swaps that we did that I wanted to share to give you guys some ideas just in case you still need some ideas. All right, Mary Lou, you're getting some good wishes to feel better. So go back to bed and watch when you're feeling better. So before we do the card, I sent this out in my newsletter this morning. So these are boxes. My product spotlight this month are the Deckled Circle dies. You get 14 dies, which is crazy. It's tons. I mean, there's just so many circles from little to big. So I'm going to use those today. But what I did was I made this box and I used a lot of circles on this, but I used a circle on here to make this little insert. So the PDF will show you how to do that. There's a little This is gift. You can use gift card. I made a little note card. You get the cash that has a gift card, and then this slides right off, and it has a little latch that I use the Deckled Circles with, and then it has a bow. I mean, not a bow, an inside box. So that's the PDF tutorial that I'll send to anyone who orders the Deckled Circles with me till December 19th, and I will post a link in there. Let me show you all of them. You can also purchase the PDF, and this one I just put paper all along the edges, so that's how that one's a little different. And then this one had the belly band. I think it's good to see them in person rather in a photograph. And then that one I did a happy birthday with the Christmas paper. All right, so that I wanted to show you. All right, so let's get excuse me, to today's project. Yeah, actually, I'll just throw that on there. I have it as a banner too. This is the host code for the PDF, but it's also my mystery host party. Host code is the same. All right, so these cards. Hi, Debbie, hopping in there. Aren't they pretty? So you may say, I've never seen that paper before, because you haven't. It's new celebration paper. Same with the stamp set. So I'm going to show you how to make it's like, I was just calling it a side open card. It might have another name. I don't know. But and then this just tucks under. And this one I put more butterflies on the inside because I thought it needed a little something. And then like that. Hi, Karen. Slip it in there. I see you. All right. So I'm going to show you how to make that. And I actually made 2 Christmas versions too. So you can use, whatever kind of paper you want. But I'll give you some tips on paper and stuff. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I do it in the right order here. I'll show you the paper first. So this is, I'm actually probably going to end up being scattered, but Celebration is coming up starting January and February. And so there's a special Celebration catalog. And then this is the new mini catalog for January through April. So I'm not allowed to open it up on camera till January 4th, but I certainly can show you the front covers. So you can kind of sneak peeks the front cover and the back cover. You can kind of see some things that are coming up. And then this catalog's fun little ice cream. And then cute little telephone. Yes, Karen, the paper's beautiful. All right, so I decided to use new paper. So this is called, so this paper actually will be free. It's called Softly Stippled. It's free with a $50 purchase, but not till January and February, but I'm just showing it you ahead of time. And I'm going to actually use this paper for the card that we're going to do right now. But let me just show you the paper because I can show you the products. I just can't show you the insides of the catalog. So it's a soft color palette. And it's funny, it's a color palette I would never come up with my own. But I'll show you the solid colors together. It's really kind of pretty. And so that's the paper. All right, so this is, I still have them all in here because I said we're just going to make the card. So this is the color palette. I'm just trying to get rid of the glare of this paper. So it's Wild Wheat, Pebbled Path, Lost Lagoon, Pool Party, and Calypso Coral. They're really, really pretty together. All right, so let's see. I'm going to show you a little something what I did first before I cut the paper. And I'm going to move that. Let's see, out of the way. Okay, so what I did, I was trying to decide, and I actually saw, and I forgot to write her name down, a card similar-ish to this one. I didn't watch her video, but I was able to at least figure out how I did it. I don't know if she did it the same way. And it was very pretty. It was different papers and different colors. But she did use these Deckled Circles because this is like the largest die I think we've ever had. So I took the largest circle and I just kind of lined it up on a regular card base. And I thought, let's see, it's up, it would be fine here, but it kind of overhangs down here. And you could slide it over, but then you get a little narrower. So what I did is I went down to the next size circle, and that seemed better to take about half. So you just that's kind of how I decided on what size I wanted. And then I'm going to cut that and I'm going to show you, but I found the half of the circle and I just want to show you with this one because I haven't done it yet. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if you can see, I have marks on it. So let me show you. I just cut, you can even tell it's scrap paper, a circle with that one. And then I just folded it in half. And then what I did is I kind of, and it doesn't fit in there perfect because it's all deckled, but you get the idea. Let me actually do this with the color behind me because you might see it better rather than just on white. So this is to find the half on your circle. So I cut just scrap paper, lining it up in the half there. And I'm going to take a paint marker. A Sharpie would probably work, some permanent. And I'm actually going to mark my die. So I'm making, I don't know, yeah, there you go. I'm making these blue marks on my die and it will dry. And then what I did is I kind of flipped it over and I did it on the other side too, because sometimes you need to see the half on that side. And I'll show you why I'm doing this in a second. Sometimes you just need to know where your half circles are. All right, so I already did that. This is the circle I'm going to use, and I already have my marks. So now this one's done. Okay. All righty. So we're going to start fresh from scratch. Like I said, sometimes I pre-cut things, but this time I didn't. All right, so rather than measure and figure out, because obviously this whole piece of paper is not going to fit my machine, this is how I kind of do it. I just put my die on there and I just kind of eyeball. My cutting track is going to go right there. And I just cut right there. And I said, okay, now I know I'm going to cut that circle. So I'm going to take my machine, and the circle is way too big for a mini machine. So I have my big one. And I'm just going to cut a circle. So far, so good. All right, I'm going to keep my machine handy because I think we're going to use it again. So I cut my circle like that, and it is really pretty paper. And what I forgot to tell you, but I'll show you now, is for this, well, I guess it doesn't matter yet. Oh, wait, I'll keep you in suspense. So now what I'm going to do is cut my circle in half. So this is where this comes in handy. Again, you could measure it, but some of them are kind of funky measured. Like, it's hard for me to gauge. I'm going to guess. But since I already figured out the half of my circle, I'm going to try to get it so it's upright. So I'm going to put the half of my die there. Arrange so that's straight, as straight as I can get it. And then I'll move that away. And it might not be perfect, but it's pretty close to being half, like that. So now I have two pieces. And then what I'm going to do is move it over to the 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to score it lightly. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one because we can actually make 2 cards out of this. Now what I was going to say is some papers won't work to be able to use 2. Certainly you can use 1 because the flowers are kind of in that direction, and the back doesn't matter. There's no direction on that paper. And then, you know, I want this to go this way for this particular paper and for that one too, because really they kind of went that way. It's non-directional, and so that's why I can use 2 of the circles. If it was directional paper, I would just save my half circle for something else. Or you could just attach the whole circle. Alrighty, and then this Christmas tree one worked out too because the stripes didn't matter, and then these trees went both up and down. So if it was that way, the direction didn't matter. So just kind of pay attention to that a little bit as you're cutting your paper. And if I still wanted to use paper that had a direction to it, I would just use half the circle and save the other half for something else. So I am folding on that score line we just made, like that. Okay. So now we have to decide what colors we're going to do. So I brought all those colors. These are all the colors in that paper pack. So then we have to decide what color we want our base to be. Because look, it matches all of them. Even though there's none of this paper in it, it still looks really pretty. But I think I might go with Lagoon. No, that looks kind of pretty. And this isn't my favorite color, but it looks kind of pretty together. I think we'll use that as an accent though. All right, so we use Lost Lagoon. Oh, and this is what I wanted to show you. It's just funny how things pop up. I had a napkin. I bought these a while ago, not too long ago. But look, the napkin is the same color palette. There's probably a little pretty peacock or shaded spruce in there, but it's the same color palette. Isn't that cool? So Stampin' Up! Knew what they were doing when they picked these colors. All right, I put it away. So we're gonna do Lost Lagoon. And where did I put, how could I lost my paper cutter? All right, so I don't know if you guys do this, but when I start with a fresh sheet of paper, I usually will score the whole thing first and then cut it. So that gives me 2 card bases. And then I usually just, that's what I was actually looking in the pack. Then I just throw this in the pack so I know I have a card base kind of ready to go. So I'm just going to make 1 card now because this is probably taking, yeah, we're already at 2:21. All right. Oh, here's some questions. Hello, everybody. Let's see, says Carolyn. Becky, hi. Becky likes the paper. It's really pretty paper. Debbie says, what is the best way to clean the silicone craft sheet? Well, I have a little glue there. I actually just rub the glue off with my finger like that. And that gets a lot of the gook off of it. That's how I get all the gluey off of it. But you can just use soap and water or a spray or something. And you can see mine has lint and stuff on it, and it will stay there. All right, so Karen scores first and cuts 2. Yeah, I just think, I don't know. It just, to me, it makes sense. All right, so that's going to look really pretty. So now we have to kind of build our colors. Maybe we'll put this on the inside. I would never pair these 2 together, but I think it's really kind of pretty. All right, so what I did on the inside, I'm just going to cut all my papers now. So like that. So I first did like what is a normal inside layer. Here, I'll show you. I shouldn't say normal, but what most people do is mine is, forget the glue because I cut the wrong size. Would be a 1/4 inch smaller. So if the card base is 5.5 by 4 1/4, then that would be like 4 by 5 1/4. And that's normally what I would do. But because we're going to be attaching this, actually, let me just attach it. See, I get a little scattered when I had a plan, but a kind of a vague plan. But I also wanted you to see thought process. So I'm going to put a little glue along that 1/4 inch seam. And I'm going to just line up the score line with the cut line. And what I'm also going to do is close it and close this just to make sure it closes. And then press. All right, so you're going to see that seam. So what I was saying was this normal one, if I put that there, now this is being really nitpicky, but you would see a little bit of the edges, top and bottom. And I don't want you to see those edges. So I just made this a little bit, yeah, that's gonna look pretty, a little bit bigger. So rather than the 5 1/4 by 4, I'm going to do, actually I'll just do 2 because I'll end up making another card later. I did 5 3/8, so I just did an 1/8 bigger than the 5 1/4, and then an 1/8 bigger than the 4, which would be 4 1/8. I'm just gonna cut 2 for now, so that will go with my other card base. But you can just play with the measurement. But now when I put this down, once I go down, you shouldn't really see where that connects. So let me just put that on there right now. Oh, actually, I was gonna, hold on, I'm not gonna do that. I was going to emboss my card base, and I still am, but I should have done it before I attached that, but that's okay. I brought up, I think, yep. So, good thing I'm just doing one card. I'm gonna be on here forever. All right, so let me show you these two. So this one I left plain. It's just plain cardstock. There's no texture to it. And then this one I added, I think you can see a little texture. I love texture on cards. So I think it adds something, but this is a little bit more of a clean look. So that's the two there. On the Christmas one, I added, you can see some texture on that one too. So I'm going to add a little texture on here. Now, normally I wouldn't have glued this first. I would do the texture first, but that's okay. I'm going to use my wood grain embossing folder. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but there's a line here, and I use that with my eye. Let me do it this way to line up to make sure I get it straight. I just need to find the folded. So I have the, can you see the edge of my paper with that line? So it's a handy little thing. All right, so I'm holding this so I don't drop it. And this is a 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to use my thick platform. I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to grab my, whatever this is called, my gray plate. And that's the sandwich I need. And you'll see that this is attached, but that's all right. Nothing's going to happen to it. All right, so there I have the wood. There you go, you can see it. It just adds a little bit something else to it. All right. All right, so now we can put in our inside there. This glue is almost empty, but luckily I brought up another one. All right, so I'm just, because it's a skinny little border, I'm just folding that up just so I can see the line. All right, so that fits in there nicely. And then we need white. I need a bigger desk. So this one I did, let's see, I did at 5. So the border on the inside will be a little bit thicker, which I like. So like 3 3/4. All right. So that will go there like that. And I'll decide later what I want to stamp on the inside. Or actually, I know what I'll do. I'm going to do what I did with one of the other cards. So that's the inside, and it looks pretty just like that because you have a nice little soft pattern. So it just opens up just like that. Alrighty. So now we need to decide what we're going to say on here. So this is a new stamp set in the new 2024 Occasions catalog. And it's awesome. And it actually comes with a die set. which I did pre-order. It's called the Perennial Postage Dies. So look at all these. Let me take them out. All these different, some of them are, you get 2 squares, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these kind of little rectangles, and then you get these big rectangles. You get something that looks like a little poach, like a cancellation, and you can make little tags. This is going to be a fun die set. So this goes, you can certainly order them separate, but this goes with it. So I'm using, I already took off. I figured this one I used Big Hugs right here. This one I used I Can't Thank You Enough, which is on here, like that one. They have some nice sayings. So I figured on this one I'd do Sending Love and Best Wishes, which I figure could be for multiple of reasons. So I brought up, look how pretty those are together. I brought up the ink colors because I wasn't sure what I was going to use. And I did pre-cut one thing. I'll show you. So I cut, look at these, are just so pretty together. This is a really beautiful color palette. So I cut these, they look like feathers. They're leaves, and they are from, and you can use any leaves, but this is what I had from the Artistic Dies. So I put them like here, but they're big. So I'm going to show you what I did. So let's pick, oh, that looks really sharp. I'll use that color. Let's see. Oh, I think those colors look pretty. And maybe we'll use a pool party circle. I think that would look, those colors I think to me look pretty pretty together. Unless I did, yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. So we're going to use these 2 leaves. I'll save these ones for later. I'm just going to put that there so it doesn't flip up. So they're obviously very big, right? And for some cards that would look pretty, but this is going that way and that's going that way, so they didn't quite jive up. So what I did is I cut them. So I just cut over that and that. And then I cut like that and that. So then look at that, gives us a little bit of better size. And so what you could do, and this is what I did on this one, is I kind of just went like that. Now I could take the time to poke all these little things out. I didn't even bother. I mean, if you want to hit it, some of them will come out, but I kind of like how some of them are there. So I'm just going to line it up so that it's not going off the card. And I'm just going to glue, I'm going to lift it up. And if I have to trim the bottom, that's fine. I'm just going to put a little glue on the bottom of that one. And I do want them to be kind of whimsy, so I don't need a lot of glue. You see, I just put 2 little dabs of glue there and there. Now it's going to go like that. I'll hold that down for a second. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. We're probably going to, I added more here too, I'll do. But Sending Love and Best Wishes. So let's see which circle works. Oh, actually, I can do it with a stamp set. The case, here we go. Where are we? Here we go. This one. So I'm just going to kind of guess that circle works. Let's see if the smaller one works. Oh yeah, that one just works. I don't want it too big, you'll see, because we have to have it as a kind of a clasp. So that's going to work. I'll use that one. And the next bigger one for the, we're going to do the pool party. All right. So now I have to move this stuff. I'm telling you, this desk is way too small. Oh, we have to stamp first. So we have to decide, oh, what color ink. So I did bring, and I think I might do this, I did bring Pretty Peacock, which is not really part of the color palette, but Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon I call like color buddies. So it's going to be a little darker, but it's in the same realm, and I think that's the color I'm going to use. I'm just going to pick some white here. I just want that to stay shut. Okay. So I'm going to close that so I don't put my ink. I gotta close my glue so that doesn't clog. And oh, I'm glad you guys like the card. It's taken me a few minutes to put it together, but it's pretty and it really doesn't take that long to put together. It's just because I have to keep sorting through and finding my stuff here. All right. All right, so we need this. Actually, I'm going to just make this a little smaller so there's room. And you get a piece of Pool Party, and we can cut those at the same time. I normally would go in my scrap and grab it, but I didn't because I wasn't sure what colors we were doing. So this will go in my scrap folder to use on other smaller things. All right, so that's there. Let's make sure that that's in alignment. And oh, I'm glad you like it, Becky. I like I said, I saw a similar card online, and I don't remember her name, and I'm sorry for not writing it down. But that's what we do, right? We go online, we find ideas, we either copy it exactly, or we kind of make it our own. So that's the whole point of why we're online, why we post pictures and stuff. Okay, here it is. All right, so this is gonna be pretty. So this is gonna go over like that. So see how that's sticking out? I don't like that. So I'm gonna cut it off once I find myself there. I'll just trim that. And then I had, I know I had, I had my extra, I keep calling them feathers, my extra leaves that I had cut, and I thought I put them right here. Yeah, they are. They went under the ink. So what I'm going to do with these ones is I'm actually just going to cut them individually. Some of them are easier to cut than others, like those ones. So this one has a little bit of a curve. So I'm just going to follow along the curve of the leaf. So now you have extra leaves. So you're not limited to using that long die as it is. You can just kind of make it your own. This one I'll leave together, and I'll take this little piece out. All right, so now I have all these little pieces. Let me actually, dimensionals, where did those go? Well, I don't know where they are. This is a foam sheet. We're just going to use that. All right. So I just wanted that on top. And so these circles are not perfectly round. So you can kind of see this like little divot. So just decide where you want. Remember, these are like deckled. They're purposely not perfect. So you find where you want it. Okay. So this is going to go, we can't have this over in the middle because then this will be really hard to lift up. So it kind of needs to be over like left justified. So that's not as bad. So that's going to go like that. So then I'm going to decide where I want these other guys. So this one's definitely going to get trimmed. So if I were to trim that, put that in there, and this will go like in here. And again, keep in mind the envelope, so that has to get pushed in a little bit. Like that. Maybe another one go under. Okay, I think that's good. So I use my blocks to hold things in place. And now I'm just going to lift this up to do the best I can. But to put some glue, they might shift a little bit. But I'm just putting some glue, I'm going to show you, putting glue kind of where they were in place. because all this messy stuff won't be shown. It's going to be all underneath the circle right here. All right, just press it down a little bit. Okay, so that will go like that. I think that looks really, really pretty. I'm all sticky. So now I need my dimensionals, but I don't know where they are. So I'm just gonna make my own. All right, so these, again, that's gonna go like that. So you want to make sure there's no dimensionals in the way of this alignment. So that really I'm just gonna put the dimensionals over here. And normally I'll let my glue dry. Actually, I'm going to make that one a little smaller because it might be in the way. Okay. So now that will go on top. Press it down. And so that lifts up like that and like that. So you can even add a little bit more if you want more design. I'm going to save those for the inside. I brought over somewhere. Oh, actually, I brought this up to show you too, because I was going to do this one for one of them. I forget. But you see how this goes way over? So this would not be able to lift, even though it would look really pretty. So you just have to kind of keep that in mind when you're designing the left side of your card. Here they are. I brought a bunch of jumps to see. So this one I did, it's funny, I used the in color ones, and this is a Copper Canyon. It's not even in here, but it all kind of flows together. This one I used those brass butterflies, and then I put some there. And so let's see, just try to grab some I thought would match. I actually think those would look really sharp. Or this, I like these ones because I'm using the Pebble Path. These are the brushed, brush something or other. So I kind of like one there. Maybe one over here. And these are all one size. So, and I like to do threes. All right, so I'm just gonna use my caution and stop. All right, so let me bring these all back. Oh, hold on, we're not done. We're not done. We need to do the inside. So I had a few of these leaves left over. I got swept away. So let's use them on the inside here. I'm going to trim that one. I'm just going to use 3. All right, I'm going to trim this one because that's way too long. And I'm going to trim this one. So you just have to be careful with these ones, though, to, actually, we'll use this one, with the glue, because you don't want too much glue going through those holes, because then they will keep the card shut. Oops. Now I'm going to have glue everywhere. And then we're going to put that one down a little bit. So not much glue. Like that. So that's the inside. So you don't even have to stamp. You can just write a really nice message. So then that gets closed like that. All right, let me push these aside. Show my little pieces away. There we go. Put them all crooked here. Put them so you can see them. So there you go. So that is with the new Celebration paper that's coming. Oh, and I'll put the 2 Christmas ones too. Let me close them. So this one I used the banners. And then this one I just cut just rectangles to fit on there. I think you can see them all. But it's kind of fun. And then so it really only uses that much of the pattern paper. And then so you really can get a lot of pieces. Alrighty, so let me, there we go. All right, let me move that out of the way. Okay, so thank you very much. Let me actually just make sure the comments if there's any questions. Oh, I'm glad you like the color I picked. I mean, I love color, but and then sometimes it's hard, especially being pressured on camera to pick it. I like to play with it. Great. So you guys, yeah, the color palette's really pretty. And it's not a palette I would normally pick, but I really, really like it. I think it's genderless, like masculine, feminine, both. I think it's really pretty. So I'm glad you like it. So to recap, I'm doing the Deckled Circle dies as my product spotlight. So I've done some things in the past. We did those. Oh, I meant to bring it up. The rocker card. I put that in my email today. My live with Anne last week. I used the circles and folded them. It was smaller, but folded them in half to make the envelopes with the string in between. I made another birthday card that had a couple levels. That's under a live. So I've used them a little bit. I'll use them some more, but I just want to show you that because you get 14 circles, like you can use them a lot and for a lot of reasons. So if you order those with me by December 19th, I will send you a PDF. But if you already have them or you don't want to order them, but you want the PDF, you can purchase the PDF for $15 and I will put that link on my website or maybe even in these comments. And the December mystery host is going on because they did a clearance rack refresh. There's tons of stuff on the clearance rack, great bargains. So if you order anything, and you use that host code I showed you at the beginning, but I can put it right here. You will automatically be entered in for the mystery host party, and that name will be drawn on December 20th, and you'll get whatever the host rewards are. We just did one a couple weeks ago. And we're already starting at $25. So I've been kind of putting orders together. So we have a starting point at $25. It's going to go up. It can go up as high as whatever. Mary got, I think it was $130 of free products last month because her name was picked. So it's kind of cool. So that is going on. And I think that's a lot. At least in my world, that's a lot. All right. So I thank you very much for watching. I will be back next week at the same time. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.